How is Heritage going to be this season? That question was brought up yesterday. Brad Bradley, the head coach of the Pioneers, answered it. He also had Jamari Brown, Rucker and Kemondre Fleshman with him. Friday, September 4th, questions may be answered. Now it'll be Saturday, September 5th, when Heritage and Graham square off on the road for the Pioneers. 2 o'clock tilt on Saturday, September the 5th. Maybe questions are answered then. Maybe it will come later. But Brad Bradley always loves high school football action. And big props to him for getting this media day organized, as he does for the past 3 years now. Media appreciates it. Coaches appreciate it. Players appreciate it. It's right here on the Sports Buffet podcast.
I just want to appreciate you guys being here. I think this is something special we started. A lot of people have duplicated it, and I think that's great. But I just want to say thank you guys. I think these young men on all these teams in the Seminole District deserve a day like today to be in front of the media, to have a chance to, be asked questions about their programs and what they've done. And all three of these young men here are seniors for us. So I know they've kind of seen the last couple of years this go on, and, it's kind of cool to watch these guys sit in this seat now. I appreciate you guys for being here.
Players going left to right, what's the biggest thing y'all learned from last year?
I really just say staying disciplined and trying to be team-led. That's what I learned, trying to be team-led.
For me, I would say communication on and off the field, because without the communication, we wouldn't be the team we are today.
For me, I would say discipline. I think our team has a lot more leadership, and we are able to challenge adversity way better.
What's the biggest thing you learned, Coach? Because, you've been doing this a while, but you always learn.
I like this group. A lot of people won't give us a chance because we lost 17, 18 seniors. We lost a lot of starters. But I think these guys are a testament to what this thing is all about. These are guys that have been around. These are guys that are not easy to play for. They know that. But at the end of the day, when people from the outside look into our program, they're probably thinking, man, that coach is crazy. But I think these guys from the inside looking out and the inside our program, they know I care about them. They know we love them. And that's what it's about. And I think that what I really like about this group's starting to realize that, hey, tough love equals a lot of love. And, I think what he said is the discipline. What he said was communication. What he said was, kind of what we talk about all the time is everybody has a piece of the puzzle. Mm-hmm. When you put them all together, that makes a pretty clear picture. When you scramble them out and this person's doing their job, but all of a sudden you're out of the picture and you're not doing your puzzle, you're not fitting your piece, it's a cloudy picture. And I think this year's group is starting to clean the picture up. We're not perfect. We're gonna have some freshmen. They're gonna see some considerable time for the first time in a long time. Mm-hmm. But I think these guys will tell you, pretty good freshmen. I'm excited about them. I'll take them all day long. So like I said, man, I think at the end of the day, football is about tackling, blocking, and the fundamentals. And I think these guys have worked their butts off since January, really kind of ramped it up in March and really started having a really good summer. So we'll find out. You reap what you sow. And right now, I think we've got a lot of hard work and put in this program, and hopefully we get to find out what that's all about.
For you, starting with you, Jermaine.
Raekwon.
Starting with you, Raekwon, and working down. Coach mentioned he's not easy to play for. And there are a lot of freshmen. How do each of y'all, as players, help the freshmen get used to the level of intensity that's demanded out of Heritage?
Just when they make a bad play or something, just trying to keep them level-headed, stay level-headed, and just keep their head up, go to the next play, and just keep working on it.
For me, I'll say reps, because if you don't take the reps and you just in the back of the line, you're not going to learn. And also, like I said before, the communication on and off the field. If you talk to the freshmen, they just continue to learn.
I think talking to the freshmen about just what they're supposed to do sometimes, and when they are in a problem, you kind of be the leader in the situation and make sure that they understand what's going on.
Coach, this is unique, but obviously we appreciate you holding this every year. But when you look at the Seminole District, it just seems like there's a brotherhood with all the coaches, but there's so many intersections and so many connections, not only with the head coaches, the assistant coaches. There's a connection. If you go to any Seminole District, there's a connection with another Seminole District school. How neat is it to have all that familiarity, to see all the coaches kind of know what it takes to be in a Seminole and have all that?
Yeah, I mean, and this is my 29th year as head coach, 27 in the state of Virginia. And, I say this every year, and y'all get tired of it. You'll keep printing it. But I still think this is one of the best districts in the state of Virginia. And I think not for just wins and losses records from the top team to the bottom of the team or whatever, and we do have really great teams top to bottom, I think, especially the top 5 right now. But I think it's also, like you said, like Coach Dane Washburn, our defense coordinator. He came from Brookville. He spent 10 years as their defense coordinator. And you got guys, Coach Tinsley, that's the Amherst defense coordinator. He was on my staff back in 2012, 2013. There's just a lot of things going on. I can speak for myself, and I think I can speak for the rest of the guys. Tyler Meeks might be the new guy in town, but he's been here as a defense coordinator in the district for a while. But there's a lot of respect, not only among the head coaches, but for the staffs of the Seminole District. Does that make sense? Because we all have to work our butts off to play. And what's special about this game, man, you can go out and play basketball and you get 22 games. You get 3 in a week. You get some snow, you might get 4 in a week. Man, you don't get that here. These guys, you think about it, you break it down, and you really start to see what football players do. And, they work from January through the month of August to literally get guaranteed only 10 48-minute football games. That's it. And plus some scrimmages. That's it. That's 480 minutes. That's it. Right? That's it. After that, they're done. So these guys work extremely hard. And in the Seminole, you work extremely hard as a coach just to figure out that little bit of edge that might get you a chance to play. You go back to Ed over there, covers Jefferson Forest a lot of times. Man, our game this year, it went to inches, right? LCA game at the end of the year went to inches, overtime. And that's what the Seminole District's all about. And sometimes the breaks go your way, sometimes they don't. As a coach, you're just trying to find a way to get an advantage, just a little teeny advantage, and they're all working their butts off. And there's a lot of respect, I think, that goes along the district with that.
Coach, looking at your schedule, we've got a week 1 bye, which I'm sure is very helpful when you're working with a lot of new players. But then week 2, first ever meeting with Graham. How special is that for you, considering the family history you have with that team?
Yeah, you guys probably don't know as much, but yeah, it is. I had a chance this weekend to go to Graham just to check out the facilities. They're building a new stadium, so they're in the middle of it. And it's going to be played now on September the 5th on Saturday at 2 o'clock. I'm going to put a little thing out on my media stuff here pretty quickly, but they don't have lights, but they kind of left Mitchell Stadium, and now they're playing on their own. Anyway, I just went over here to check it out. I was down that way for a family reunion. Got to visit my grandfather's grave. My grandfather coached at Graham, won a state championship there in 1963. My dad played at Graham, played for that state championship team. My grandfather spent 30 years there. If you guys know anything about Graham, there was basically my dad, Glenn Carlock, a guy named Doug Mars, which actually just retired after 47 years. He's been the Reedsville defense coordinator for the longest time. And then it's Tony Palmer. And Tony Palmer and I, the head coach right now, played against each other in 1989. Graham came in as ESPN top 10. And came into Salem. Now, we smacked their butt. We beat them 23-6. We talk about that all the time, me and Coach Palmer do. But I'm getting to the point in this thing, man. I like playing guys like Coach Palmer because I know that he does things the right way. They got a really good program. It's going to make us better one way or the other. We're going to go down to a hostile environment. But it is going to be very, very special to know that I'm playing, even though it's turf now. But, we're playing, and these guys don't even know that. They don't have no clue what you guys are talking about. But I'm playing on the field that my grandfather coached on for over 20 years, 25 years. I'm playing on the field that my dad practiced on for 4 years. I'm playing on the field that there's a lot of history in my family. And, but in terms of our team, we try to play good teams. You guys know that. You go back and look at our out-district conference, and we played Bridgeport this year. We only got to play 2 quarters in a series because of the Thunder had to come back. In the past, we've played Dinwiddie in the past. We try to schedule great teams. We played Vance, North Carolina, which, guys are pretty daggone good. But we want guys that are going to challenge us, and I like that. I don't really like the week 1, even though you're right. It does give us a chance. These guys will tell you, we get tired of playing ourselves. Even though you get a couple, scrimmages in there, we got a great GW team. We're scrimmaging next Friday. Fleming, we got the benefit game with. But sometimes that week off is not great. This year I do like it because we have some young guys and chance to kind of get some things fixed. But we're looking forward to it. And they got a really good program. And so I think it's going to be a great atmosphere. Saturday football game at 2:00. I'm excited about it.
Do you guys, technically 4 home, 6 road games, but one of them, I guess you could say, is you share a home with EC Glass. Does that symbiotic relationship with playing the Glass game in City Stadium make it easier? Because all 3 of your non-district games are on the road.
I think Devin will test, man. I mean, you play in that stadium, whoever it is, whether it's us or Glass, they're going to act like their stadium, right? So we like that. I guess because we only have 4 home games, you blame our athletic director. He's not real smart. But no, I mean, really, it really just worked out like that. We had the Bridgeport game. We weren't going to do that again. That was a 6-hour drive last year. So when Graham came open, it was an easy situation to go ahead and plug one in, even though it's going to have to be away. What we're hoping is in 27 and 28, we can make that a home and home. So hopefully, we get Graham for the next 2 years after this. That'd be a great situation. But it just happens. I mean, some years we've had 6 home games and 4 away. To answer your question, it's exactly how I looked at it. Yes, we're only getting 4 gates, bringing in money, but we also this past year had the Glass gate. So we figure out we're going to make, at the end of the day, we're going to break even over a 2-year cycle. And I think that we don't have to travel but 5 times. That's the really good thing about it. So, to answer your question, that's kind of why we did that.
What is life for the Heritage offense look like after Aiden Slash? You did so much for you in the last year, so talk to us.
I'm going to let this guy, because he's one of our returning guys coming off with the offense this year.
What have you seen from the offense in the early going?
I love the way our offense looks right now. We have people everywhere. I feel like we have filled in all the missing spots, I guess you could say. Our QB situation, I feel like it's good. Some people might not, but I'm pretty sure we're good.
And I think I'll add to that. I think we have a freshman right now, Daryl Alexander, battling for the spot. We have another kid that came over from Glass, AJ Coles, battling for the spot. I think both those young men are great. We went from really having 1 quarterback in the quarterback room to having 4 quarterbacks in the quarterback room. So we're pretty excited about that. I mean, I really enjoy that. But I think it's going to be a good competition right there. We also got a young man named Dash Hubbard. It's been looking good in the preseason. He's also a freshman. I think it's not going to be a whole lot of differences. Flash is coming back. Raekwon going to move over to the offensive side a lot more this year at the running back position and slot. And so I think we have a lot of interchangeable parts. You might see one guy at quarterback and one guy at running back. Next play, you might see the other guy at running back, the other guy at quarterback. So we got some multiple pieces. plus you'll probably see Tremeke Hudson a little bit more running back this year, as well as the defensive end. So there's a couple of things that we have. I feel like you'll see a little bit more of a variety of some tight end / our H-back, stuff like that. So we're excited about it. We got enough up front. We feel like coming back that we're going to, have a chance to be successful there. But I do think our defense is ahead of our offense right now. Defensively, we're excited about it. Defensive line, having Tremeke Hudson back. Mari's going to be leading at the Mike linebacker position. We've got a freshman that's going to be pushing some of these guys in the linebacker position. That's going to give us a 4th guy. We got Brad Scott back for a 3-year starter. His brother Jay Scott's going to be a sophomore, going to be a pretty good player. Jax Fowler, Juice is back. Jeremiah Davis. So we got some guys back on defense. We feel like we're going to be ahead on defense right now. But, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Just like we talked about, you bust your butt for all that time to get 48 minutes. So it's what we do in those 48-minute games.
Coach, what do you wish more people understood about this year's group of guys?
How much work they put in. And this is about the whole Seminole District, but I'm just talking about my guys here in Orange. But if you walk the halls at Heritage High School, you're going to get – they're going to think that you get treated differently because you're a football player, right? That's what everybody thinks. That's not true. They have no clue what these dudes do. They have no clue. They have no clue that these guys have already been out there for 2 practices today. They checked in today at 7:45. They got done at 2. They've been yelled at. They've been in the heat. They've been challenged mentally, physically, emotionally, and everything. And you know what? They don't complain. They just keep coming back. They enjoy it. We enjoy each other. I'm the luckiest guy in the world. I'm 53 years old, and I get to hang out with a bunch of teenagers every day. You know what I mean? They keep me young. They make fun of me because my knee's bad. Flash makes fun of me because I'm limping all the time. But you know what, man? I'm one of the luckiest people in the world. I get to come out here. I get exercise every day. I get a chance to be with these young men. And I think what would surprise most people don't know about these guys, is just how hard they work, how dedicated they are, and how much they overcome any team in the Seminole District to get on the field and do what they do. Every team, whether it's Jefferson Forest, LCA, Amherst, EC Glass, Liberty, whatever. In order to get on the field, man, there's a lot of work, preparation, and determination that goes through this, man. And I think my hat's off to all the guys that play football. Not taking anything away from any other sports, 'cause I'm an athletic director, but football is the hardest sport to play. It's a tough game played by tough people under tough conditions. And they're out there today playing in 90-degree weather. Hopefully we'll be out there in December playing in 20-degree weather, right? And then they got a dude like me if they're yelling at them all the time. And then they got guys like you guys that are talking good or talking bad, right? And most of you guys do a great job. But it's what life's about. They have a chance. They prepare themselves. They come out. They perform. And unfortunately, we're going to succeed sometimes. We're going to not succeed sometimes. But the preparation is where, the process is where they're going to learn most of their lessons and they're going to become young men. So I'd say the great thing about it, man, these guys put a lot in to get on that field.
Obviously, and I've known you for years. I know you don't think this far down the road, but what would it mean? Because obviously they moved Class 3 and Class 4 to your high school stadium, Salem Stadium. Mm-hmm. What would it mean to play a state championship game at your alma mater stadium and even win it?
Well, I'm going to go back to what I said first. Everybody was complaining about where it might be and this and that. Hey, if we're lucky enough to play, we'll play in Alaska in a field or a parking lot. We don't care. But that'd be unbelievable. You know, it'd be unbelievable. And you know, this year we got our work cut out for us. You know, we are returning not returning a lot of guys, got a lot of new starters. But I think I got enough guys around us that can help those young guys out and build them. But to go back to your question, it'd be real special. You know, I played at Salem because my dad coached at Salem. He moved there in 1981. He stayed there all the way until 2008, 2009. You know, I played there starting in 1988, started as a freshman there. It'd be pretty cool. You know, we have been lucky enough to play there one time. We beat Salem there in 2012 in the state semifinals. That was a pretty good situation. Yeah, I think it's great. And I'll be honest with you, man, I understand that. I love Liberty. I love myself going across, you know, the times we've been fortunate enough to play over there. But, man, Salem is a high school atmosphere. You take the Division III and Division IV state championships and you put them in Salem, think about the atmosphere. It's going to be packed. It's going to be packed. Here, you could be 10,000. It doesn't look packed. There, you're going to have 10,000. It's going to be packed. I played the state championship game in 1991 at Salem, and it had about 10,000 people. We played Spotsylvania. And, dude, people were hanging out on the freaking hill and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, I think that'd be great to answer your question.
So if you'll play anywhere, should we get rid of the field turf and
I don't
concrete down
if
there?
we're playing for state championship, we're playing the parking lot. Am I right? We don't give a crap. We don't give a crap. We'll play anywhere. We'll play anything you guys want to say before we end, because this is your guys' time. Anything you guys want to add?
I appreciate y'all being here and doing this, like taking the time out of y'all days to come here and see us. I just appreciate that.
You just heard from Brad Bradley and his players on the Sports Buffet podcast. You'll hear Heritage football all year long on 102.3 Groove102.com. And you'll hear Pioneers covered on the Sports Buffet podcast with Bob Alvis.